So funny. It's just a rash, and it's going away. Hello, everyone. I'm Greg Gutfeld, along with Kimberly Guilfoyle, Bob Beckel, Eric Bowling. And her New Year's resolution is to stop eating butterflies. It's Dana Perino. This is, of course, The Five. So, surprise, surprise, a new poll shows that we Yanks have almost no faith in government. And only 1 in 20 say our government is okay. That one person is, in scientific terms, a moron. He may be hosting at MSNBC. Cheap shot. So how can big government thrive when we've seen all the messes it leaves? Detroit, D.C., Oakland, Stockton, Harrisburg, Cleveland, Baltimore, on and on. Progressivism brings poverty. Yet, as it necrotizes all it invades, we still let it infest New York City. How come? Well, if you want to sell something bad, you got to change its name. Wealth redistribution is called fairness. Strangulation becomes regulation. Taxes revenue. Carter can then become Obama, and Marion Barry is re-gifted as de Blasio. Left-wing success is in reinventing failure by disguising disaster. I call it hex change surgery. So now we have the same old crew salivating over the Big Apple in New York City. There, Giuliani and Bloomberg built a bionic magnet for business while slashing crime and saving thousands of minority lives. It was an amazing feat. So what do we hear this Inauguration Day? A chaplain for the sanitation department, they have one, calling the city a plantation while Hillary looks on, smiling. And so the same old canards return about the ignored poor and the greedy rich. As we remember the dead cities, the test subjects who died in their left-wing labs, we let another Dr. Frankenstein, disguised as Dr. Welby, get his hands on our healthiest patient. And when this apple rots, they'll once again call it progress and move on to another victim.
Well, Happy New Year.
Yes, yes. I was gone for a week.
Nice to have you back, Greg.
Yeah, it was so uplifting.
But Bob, come on. Okay, I don't know, did you watch any of the inauguration?
I did.
All right.
I watched the de Blasio inauguration?
Yeah.
No, I was still thawing out for New Year's Eve.
I heard. By the way, Bob did a great job with you and had to walk home at 5 a.m.
That's correct.
Because there was nobody to pick you up. You couldn't get a cab.
No, that's right. Well, that shows what happens when you're a liberal. Nobody gets
what happens when de Blasio takes over.
Yeah, see? The first day.
Day one.
First guy I heard is you.
Yeah.
The rich.
I thought wasn't it an NYPD cop that recognized you, though, and let you through the crowd?
They were very helpful. The police were very helpful. And Kimberly did a terrific job. And it was, believe me when I tell you, it was complicated. But anyway, I would say, to dump all over government. It's funny about government. Nobody likes government unless they need it, unless they use it. And if you ask people who are farmers if they, want the agricultural subsidies, they'll say yes. If you ask senior citizens, they want their Social Security, they'll say yes. But if you ask them about government, look, in the face of all the stuff you've been hearing, of course you're going to be negative about it. But the last time they were positive about government was 50 years ago.
But okay, let me ask Kimberly, because there was somebody there that was applauding de Blasio, Mr. Newsom. De Blasio is vowing to bring progressive vision to New York City. Can you tell me where in New York City there is no progressivism, isn't it?
Well, that's a problem, and this is why I was so disappointed when I watched all of this inauguration today, because I found it to just be very negative, not even acknowledging the tremendous accomplishments and the progressiveness in New York City. I mean, it was just so, and you saw Bloomberg sitting in the front, and the look on his face said it all, because they ran him into the ground, they ran New York City, the people that live here, everything was just like garbage. You're not good enough, you don't do anything, this is a plantation. My God, if they think New York City is like that, what must they think of the rest of the country?
You brought that up when we were in the green room, though. Just what they said in front of Bloomberg was bashing
here you have a mayor who worked for $12.
Yeah.
That's what he earned from the city, the taxpayers over 8 years. He got $12 or 12 years, was it?
Well, he's a multi-billionaire.
Right, but this is a guy who gave. He did all these great things for New York City. Yeah, we make fun of the big gulp ban and some of the lifestyle things that he tried.
We're allowed to rip him.
But the crime rate stayed down.
Yeah. And
there wasn't a terrorist attack. And you actually have, after the major recession, the financial shock, businesses coming back into the city, and the stock market just ends with its best year. And partly, I think, that is business climate that he helped to create. And then you have just prepared speeches that insult him while he's sitting there. There's just no grace.
Really inappropriate.
There's no manners.
Yeah, it was funny.
And he paid for their house that they're going to live in now. Basically, he out of his own pocket, he remodeled the mayor's mansion. They're moving. He didn't ever live in it, and they're going to move in and enjoy it. Guess that's not
bad,
that was nice,
right? That's chump
Why don't they live in their own
pocket.
house then if it's too grandiose?
Eric, let me I don't want to be too gloomy about this. I mean, look, he appointed Bratton, which is a good move. The city's not going to let him fail, or he's going to be out, right?
The city's not going to let de Blasio fail?
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem. I don't. Clearly, it's a very liberal city, but the problem is it's a test case for every other liberal mayor in the country who wants to see how it works. See how, if you really push the progressive socialism farther and farther left, see if the city embraces it, see if businesses leave. Really, we've made fun of Bloomberg over the years pretty harshly on this show elsewhere, but only for his social issues, only for his goofiness with big gulps and bans on salt and cigarettes and things like that, but not for his business climate, not for what he did for the economy. Dana points out, makes a very good point, that businesses felt comfortable coming back to New York after 9/11 because Bloomberg made it a business-friendly environment. De Blasio is not that guy. De Blasio is the opposite of that. De Blasio is the guy who's going to raise the taxes, and businesses right now, especially Wall Street, is going to go, what do you mean you're going to raise it even more? You're going to raise we're already paying 4.5%. City tax alone, you jack that up even more and put a corporate tax on.
No one wants to buy
here. Will flee.
Yeah, where are they going to flee to? They're going to flee to
Florida.
To
Texas.
Florida, New Jersey,
They're going to flee to Fort Lee, New Jersey, right across the river.
And they have tax increases, right? And they have tax increases.
Well, if they're going to increase taxes, they're going to find a place that doesn't increase taxes.
There's one thing about revenue, which is that in order to do what you need to do to make a government work, you need revenue. And if rich people have to pay revenue, screw them.
But they never.
They ought to pay it.
But you know what? You're going to run out of rich people. Because
they're being made by the millions every year.
How do you make a rich person if you keep punishing him?
No, they get a much bigger percentage of what's available, and those in the middle and the bottom fall.
So they pay the majority of the taxes if you look at the actual.
Yeah, but
and to the larger point of the monologue in regards to people's feeling distrust in government writ large, I think part of that is because it's not that I think that there are some rich people who have said, count me as somebody who wants to pay more taxes if they thought that the reforms were going to actually work.
Right.
But the problem is people are distrustful of government because big programs that try to get rammed through actually don't work. And one of the things that de Blasio is focusing on is education and pre-K through 12th grade education and free preschool for everybody.
Yeah.
The problem is that the schools that work, the charters, are the ones that are basically going to get, the ones that are working are the ones that are going to get hurt in all of this.
Right. Speaking, I want to play this sound on tape. First it's Clinton, and then it's de Blasio from yesterday, because de Blasio says something I think is interesting.
I strongly endorse Bill de Blasio's core campaign commitment that we have to have a city of shared opportunities, shared prosperity, shared responsibilities.
We are called to put an end to economic and social inequalities that threaten to unravel the city we love. And so today we commit to a new progressive direction in New York. And that same progressive impulse has written our city's history.
Okay, God, I'm sorry. I almost swore. It's like 1980 or something. He's saying he's talking about social inequality threatening to unravel the city we love. Is he talking about New York City?
I don't know what he's talking about. Like another planet, not here, somewhere else in the solar system. That's why it just didn't make any sense. I felt like I was trapped in some kind of bizarre time machine. I'm like, what is this guy talking about? Does he even know anything about New York City or all the accomplishments? This is the place where everybody wants to come and live. Until now, they're going to.
What does he mean by social?
The
financial inequality. Okay, I can wrap my head around that. But the social inequality in New York City?
Yeah.
What is he talking about?
I don't get it.
No.
Bob?
Well, I just, the thing that just amazes me, when you say things like that, my dear friend, the fact is that you're talking about people want to come and live in New York where they want to live. They want to live in Manhattan. They want to live in Soho. They want to live in the East Side. They want to live in the West Side. Do they want to live in the Bronx? Do they want to live in Brooklyn? When you say, is he?
Yeah, they do. You know how expensive property is in Brooklyn?
Yeah, that's exactly what you're going to say, right? Yeah, Park Slope. And if you play, look, most of the people in this city are losing ground, and the wealthy are making up more and more money.
Under Obama, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm glad we clarified.
Have you seen the amount of money, the obscene amount of money that Wall Street has been bonusing their people?
You can keep saying that, but that's
Occupy Wall Street again, Eric.
Yeah, go ahead, trash Wall Street. Have Wall Street go somewhere else. Have Wall Street leave the city. You know what's going to happen? The place will be broke. This will be a dust town. There'll be tumbleweed going up and down 6th Avenue.
You think Wall Street's going to leave? No.
Bob, Wall Street doesn't need the trading floor downtown anymore. I got news for you. Wall Street can be any street in any country around the globe right now.
They should go to London.
Let's take those bankers and put them in North Dakota. Maybe have the other like that.
North Dakota's doing great.
The most friendly business environment that they can possibly find. De Blasio is saying he wants to go in a more progressive direction, which can only mean we need to tax the wealthy more. Right. That's the only thing he can talk about, because this is a socially progressive place already. Yeah. The only thing they have left to do is redistribute more. Yeah. That's it. That's your heads up to all you corporate out there, CEOs who are wondering, stay or go.
How do you feel comfortable with the fact that people at the upper end level of this city are making 150 times more than everybody else is?
Again, let's do it again. Rising tide raises all boats.
The problem is the other boats haven't risen. The yachts have.
What do you mean?
The yachts are doing great.
So everyone's entitled to make the same amount of money as a CFO?
No, not the same amount of money, but they ought to be able to share in some of this.
They pay roughly half of all taxes.
I think more.
Yeah.
I think the upper
top
5
like 4 or 5%.
And what percentage of the income do they take?
What's the difference?
What's the difference?
No difference at all.
Don't say they pay over half of it, but they make about 75% of the profit.
You should be thrilled that someone's making $1 billion on Wall Street. He's paying $500 million in taxes.
I am thrilled. I just think you could pay probably $700 million. We'd be fine.
Oh, really? Like, we'd be fine. Like, what's really going to change if they get more money? I think that's my point of, like, the people's distrust of government.
That's the part of it.
What is actually going to change?
Do you believe that what he's going to do with education is going to work? So far, what's happened with education reforms in this country has not worked. So the question is preschool has proven to be, in certain areas, has proven to be very successful. Here in this city, it is not. Can he do something about that? I just wouldn't prejudge the guy. We're
he's prejudged everybody else.
It's not really prejudging. He's basically saying it, Bob. Yeah, we're going in a more progressive direction. We know what progressivism is.
Did he lay out a tax increase on you?
He says he's he says he's going to raise taxes.
A day in the office.
Yeah, he said
he'll pay higher taxes too.
I know.
You live here and earn here, you're going to pay a lot more.
Whatever you do, don't buy property in New York.
All right, we got to go.
You mean actually out in Long Island, you mean, right?
I'm saying in Manhattan, do not buy property because the real estate tax.
All right.
The Chamber of Commerce is going to call.
I know. Okay, ahead on the